What's good everyone, it's Smudger here. Let's talk about platinum shotguns. Honestly, really easy to get platinum, surprisingly so. I did it all in tier 1, I might have got a couple of long shots with this shotgun in shipment, but for the most part did it all in tier 1 because it's so much easier, and I don't know why you do it in any other mode when tier 1 exists and is there. As always, we'll run through class setups I use, starting with the 725 or the Lockwood 300. This gun could be done in core, no problem whatsoever. It is a very good gun, best shotgun in the game. I think most people are aware of that. But pretty standard setup, you don't have to use an optic. I just prefer the clarity of the picture when I'm trying to get long shots. I think the long shot range for a shotgun is like 11 meters, 12 meters. It's really not that far. It's a pretty easy thing to do. Next up is the Expedite 12. Got a few hit markers with this if I strayed towards kind of the 20-25 meter mark. Bit of a readjustment from doing the 725 to this, but that was all it was. Everything here is to pretty much improve the range and the damage, just because that is the main limitation of shotguns naturally. But it was again pretty easy. I think being in tier 1 is just the best thing you can do for these. We do have the Bryson 800 up next. Again, completely the same as all the others. Everything I've done is to improve the range. This gun was perfectly fine to get long shots. I think I got it all done in one game. It is a bit map and lobby dependent, but for the most part it was pretty easy. Pretty standard stuff, nothing to really worry about with this. And of course, finishing up with the Bryson 890. Very similar story to the other shotguns. I did get the odd hit marker with this, but I suspect that's more my own inaccuracy more than anything else. You do need to be hitting them chest and head, but that's probably a given, and I think most people are used to that. All of them pretty easy, nothing to worry about. We'll run through a few maps briefly, but for the most part, because you can be so close to the enemies, most of the maps are going to be in some way viable. Albagra, great map for it. Small enough that you can get close to enemies without having to cross, you know, masses of expansive open space. Pretty decent map. It's always been good for long shots with any gun, with the exception of maybe like the sniper rifles, and the shotguns are no different. It is perfectly viable. Hotel's okay. There are quite a few long lines of sight that people tend to use for assault rifles or LMGs or any of those sorts of guns, and you do find yourself getting gunned down by them more regularly than you might like. Same with Crown Raceway. Long shot map in tier 1 for any gun that isn't a shotgun. I just tended to avoid it. Similar story with El Asilo, usually great, but unless the enemy team is willing to move into the main building, you're not going to have too much success. It is a similar story with Embassy as well, because in tier 1 everyone's going for long shots unless you have an enemy team that is willing to come into the buildings pretty regularly and you can predict those patterns. You're going to not have a great amount of success. I thought Farm 18 would be a lot better than what it was, but because everyone is surprisingly going for long shots, usually they end up either sat like up in this building or on this roof up here. Slows everything down. You're at a massive disadvantage because of the ranges you need to be hitting. Even if you try and like come out this door and shoot up onto the roof, you don't always get that. Mikado was a bit hit and miss, dependent on the lobby. Not fantastic. I have no idea if this is any good because I refuse to play it, is the honest answer. If you get a tier 1 shipment, whether it's festive or not, it will be great for it. I didn't get one, but if you do get one, it will be like the best map for it. I did get a tier 1 shoot house when I was doing this, and this was great. The opposite lane to this, so over by the crates, you can just lie down by the crates, and as people come off spawn, whatever direction that is, it is probably a long shot. I think I got the entirety of the Bryson 800 done in that one match. Shoot house is great. Tarak is way too big a map for shotguns, just don't bother with it. Zark was a bit hit and miss, depends if people are moving in all honesty, but shoot house, I imagine Santa said it might not be horrific if you ever get it. Shoot house and Fortress are probably my picks for shotgun long shots though. But that is shotguns platinum. That is all classes platinum, I think. I'm pretty sure it is. We'll have the polyatomic guides rolling out in the next day or so. I've already got a lot of guns polyatomic. It is actually incredibly easy now that shipment is here, including the launchers. But those guides will roll out as soon as I get round to them. But if you have any specific queries about long shots with the shotguns, drop them down below. I'll do my best to get back to you. And as always, I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.